In the beloved 1994 film Forrest Gump, the character of Jenny, played by Robin Wright, meets a tragic end that has left many fans puzzled over the years. Although the movie confirms that Jenny dies after becoming HIV positive, it never explicitly states that she had AIDS, which has led to confusion among viewers. The ambiguity surrounding Jenny's cause of death can be attributed to the fact that the film deviates from the source material, the novel Forrest Gump by Winston Groom. To better understand the manufacturer's intentions, watch this entire video to get the answer. The heart of the movie lies in Forrest Gump's extraordinary life journey, but it is tethered to the unconditional love he has for Jenny, despite her often erratic and unkind behavior towards him. As the film unfolds, it becomes increasingly evident that Jenny is a deeply troubled character, haunted by her own traumatic past. The movie subtly hints at her history of abuse, which she never truly escapes from, and her inner demons that she battles throughout her life. One of the perplexing aspects of the film is its decision to avoid explicitly mentioning Jenny's diagnosis of AIDS, despite making it clear that she is HIV positive. This omission raises questions about the filmmaker's motives and whether the story benefited from the ambiguity. One can speculate that the choice was made to avoid making the film too heavy or to maintain a certain level of innocence and nostalgia throughout the narrative. During the time when Forrest Gump was released, the AIDS pandemic was a devastating reality affecting countless lives worldwide. Given the movie's historical backdrop, Jenny's succumbing to HIV is widely accepted as the most likely cause of her death by both fans and scholars alike, even though the film never definitively confirms it. In contrast to the movie, the original novel by Winston Groom offers a different conclusion to Jenny's story. In the book, Jenny dies from an illness that is left unspecified, leaving readers to form their own interpretations. The novel provides more detailed insight into Jenny's character, her struggles, and her eventual fate. Jenny's death in Forrest Gump marks the culmination of a bittersweet journey that she and Forrest share throughout their intertwined lives. Their connection begins in their early years, when they bond as childhood friends in the small town of Greenbow, Alabama. Their friendship is unique because Forrest's innocence and unwavering loyalty stand in stark contrast to Jenny's tumultuous life, marked by abuse and instability. Their paths diverge as they grow older due to the tumultuous backdrop of the Vietnam War era. Forrest, out of his love for Jenny, enlists in the military, while many others of his generation are drafted into service. This decision reflects Forrest's unwavering dedication to fulfilling his promise to Jenny, to write her letters while he is away. However, his letters are returned to him, bearing the heartbreaking label of an invalid mailing address. Forrest's experiences in the Vietnam War catapulted him into the role of a war hero, earning him the prestigious Medal of Honor. It's during an anti-war rally in Washington, D.C. in 1967 that Forrest and Jenny are reunited briefly. Their meeting at this pivotal moment in American history serves as a powerful reminder of the turbulent times and their profound impact on their lives. Despite their reunion, the fates of Forrest and Jenny continue to pull them apart. For nearly a decade, they go their separate ways, with Jenny wandering from place to place, leaving Forrest to navigate his own life, which is marked by his astounding achievements and remarkable encounters with historical figures. In 1976, Jenny returns to her hometown in Alabama, and she and Forrest share an intimate moment together. However, this encounter only perpetuates the cyclical pattern of Jenny drifting in and out of Forrest's life, leaving him longing for a deeper and more stable connection with her. The film's early conflict revolves around the events that separated Forrest and Jenny, highlighting the external forces that shaped their lives. However, the final act of the movie delves into what brings them back together, shedding light on their enduring bond and the complexity of their relationship. Their eventual reunion is, in some ways, cathartic, as it brings a sense of closure to their long and tumultuous history. Yet it also underscores the deep emotional turmoil that both characters carry with them. The climax of Forrest Gump is a pivotal moment in the film, shedding light on the opening premise and delivering two significant revelations that profoundly impact the story. In 1981, Forrest receives a letter from Jenny, drawing him to Georgia and revealing her understanding of the true reason behind his years-long journey crisscrossing America. This revelation adds a layer of depth to Forrest's character and the emotional underpinnings of the narrative. Jenny's knowledge of Forrest's motivation for running across the country reflects her deep connection with him. It becomes evident that Forrest's epic run was driven by his heartbreak and nostalgia for their shared past. This insight into Forrest's feelings and his unwavering love for Jenny reinforces the emotional core of the film. Another revelation follows shortly after, as Forrest discovers that Jenny has given birth to their son, Forrest Jr., portrayed by Haley Joel Osment. This revelation is a testament to the enduring bond between Forrest and Jenny, one that transcends time and distance. It symbolizes the culmination of their complex relationship and the shared legacy they have created. However, amidst the joy of their reunion and the birth of their child, a somber undertone emerges as Forrest learns that Jenny is afflicted by an undisclosed illness referred to as some kind of virus. The film leaves this illness shrouded in ambiguity, providing no concrete explanation for her condition. This deliberate omission adds an air of mystery and poignancy to Jenny's fate, leaving viewers to grapple with the uncertainty of her illness. Given the film's early 1980s setting and the character's lifestyle choices in her earlier years, speculation about the cause of Jenny's illness has long persisted. The prevailing theories have centered on either HIV/AIDS or hepatitis C, both of which were significant health concerns during that period. The ambiguity surrounding Jenny's diagnosis prompts viewers to reflect on the broader social and medical context of the time, as well as the personal struggles she faced throughout her life. Eric Roth, the screenwriter of Forrest Gump, provided crucial insights into the illness that Jenny succumbed to during a 2019 interview, shedding light on a previously unanswered question that had intrigued fans for years. According to Roth, Jenny died from late-stage HIV. This revelation finally clarified the mystery surrounding her condition and brought closure to the discussion regarding the cause of her illness. Roth's confirmation during the interview added a new layer of depth to the story, as it retroactively provided a definitive answer to the question that had lingered since the film's release. It reinforced the idea that Jenny's fate was tragically linked to the AIDS pandemic, which had a devastating impact on countless lives during the 1980s and early 1990s. Moreover, Roth discussed an intriguing aspect of a planned sequel to Forrest Gump, which was ultimately canceled in the wake of the 9/11 terrorist attacks in 2001. The sequel was set to explore new facets of Forrest's life and that of his son, Forrest Jr. Roth revealed that the sequel would have opened with the revelation that Forrest Jr. had late-stage HIV, a condition he acquired from his mother, Jenny. This storyline would have delved into the intergenerational impact of HIV/AIDS, adding a complex and emotional layer to the narrative. Roth also disclosed a darkly humorous scene that he had written for the sequel, which showcased the challenges faced by Forrest Jr. due to his condition. The scene involved the backdrop of desegregation buzzing in Florida, a real historical event that took place during the same era. In this fictional sequence, tensions arise as some parents express anger and reluctance to send their children to the same school as Forrest Jr., who had AIDS. This conflict highlighted the social stigmas and misunderstandings surrounding HIV/AIDS during that period, demonstrating how, even in a light-hearted film like Forrest Gump, serious social issues could be addressed with sensitivity and humor. Eric Roth's revelations about the canceled sequel to Forrest Gump not only provided insight into the HIV plotline, but also hinted at a darker and more complex subtext that the filmmakers had envisioned for the follow-up film. One of the intriguing and somewhat surreal scenes in the planned sequel involved Tom Hanks's character, Forrest Gump, riding in the back of O.J. Simpson's Ford Bronco during the infamous 1994 freeway chase in Los Angeles. This scene would have placed Forrest in the midst of one of the most sensational and widely watched events in television history. It's an interesting concept, as it would have allowed the film to weave its fictional character into real-life historical events, blurring the lines between fiction and reality in a way that Forrest Gump was known for. Another memorable and poignant scene that Roth wrote for the sequel featured Forrest ballroom dancing with Princess Diana. Princess Diana's tragic passing in 1997 lent a poignant and emotional context to this sequence. The idea of Forrest dancing with a real-life princess not only added a touch of whimsy to the story, but also underscored the film's theme of unlikely encounters and connections between ordinary people and historical figures. Roth's storytelling took another emotional turn with a sequence involving a Native American character whom Forrest befriends. Tragically, this character was set to meet his demise in the 1995 Oklahoma City bombing. This event, a domestic act of terrorism that shook the nation, would have introduced a somber and reflective aspect to the film, further highlighting the interconnectedness of the characters and the impact of historical events on their lives. The lingering question of the potential transmission of HIV from Jenny to Forrest and their son, Forrest Jr., indeed adds a dark overtone to the overall narrative of Forrest Gump. While the film does not explicitly address this possibility, it raises thought-provoking implications that cast a shadow over the characters' futures. If Jenny did pass on HIV to Forrest, it's plausible that their son, Forrest Jr., could have been born with the virus, given the mother-to-child transmission risk associated with HIV. This hypothetical scenario introduces a complex layer of medical and emotional challenges that would have far-reaching consequences for both Forrest and his son. Firstly, if Forrest were living with HIV, it would necessitate lifelong medical care, including antiretroviral therapy and regular monitoring. The portrayal of Forrest's life would have taken on a new dimension, showcasing his resilience in the face of this additional health challenge. Forrest Jr., growing up with HIV, would face a unique set of difficulties, including the need for specialized medical care from a young age. The film would have had to explore the challenges and stigmas associated with being a child born with HIV during a time when awareness and understanding of the virus were limited. Furthermore, the film's focus on Forrest's triumphs, despite his learning difficulties, would take on added complexity. The story would need to navigate the intersection of Forrest's cognitive challenges and his newfound health condition, highlighting the remarkable resilience and determination of the character. The deliberate decision to keep Forrest's HIV status ambiguous in Forrest Gump aligns with the film's core intent and storytelling approach. As you rightly noted, the movie never hints that Forrest himself has HIV. Instead, it leaves Jenny's diagnosis purposefully vague, allowing viewers to speculate without explicitly confirming Forrest's status. This storytelling choice emphasizes the film's focus on Forrest's experiences and emotional journey, rather than delving into medical details. It's important to acknowledge that since the film does not specify when Jenny acquired the illness, it remains uncertain whether HIV transmission took place. This ambiguity leaves room for interpretation and allows viewers to appreciate the story's central themes without adding an unnecessary layer of tragedy to the narrative. Forrest Gump is, at its heart, a tale of love, perseverance, and the human spirit. And the creators chose to maintain this focus rather than delve into the specifics of medical conditions. The scrapped sequel to Forrest Gump would have explored these medical and emotional complexities, but its cancellation following the 9/11 tragedy underscores the changing landscape of storytelling in the wake of real-world events. The filmmakers recognized that the sequel's storyline, with its darker subtext and added layers of complexity, had become incongruent with the times. It would have been challenging for such a sequel to strike the right balance between humor, drama, and social commentary. Ultimately, Forrest Gump stands as a 90s classic that encapsulates an era and covers numerous historical events, all while leaving Jenny's legacy as a central and enduring theme. The decision not to pursue a sequel was probably for the best, especially given the risk of diluting the impact of the original or unintentionally diminishing its legacy. Additionally, as you mentioned, some aspects of the original film may be viewed as problematic by modern standards, further emphasizing the importance of preserving its unique and nostalgic charm rather than attempting to extend the story. Forrest Gump continues to resonate with audiences for its heartfelt storytelling and memorable characters, making it a timeless cinematic gem. Tom Hanks' role in Philadelphia during the same period as Forrest Gump marked a significant moment in his career and in the broader context of Hollywood and social awareness. In the early 1990s, portraying a gay character in a major motion picture was still relatively uncommon, and the film's subject matter was highly controversial, especially in less progressive circles. In Philadelphia, Tom Hanks portrayed Andrew Beckett, a talented lawyer who is unjustly fired by his employers after they discover he has AIDS. The film centers around Beckett's legal battle against discrimination and his quest for justice. Hanks's portrayal of a character openly living as HIV positive was groundbreaking and challenged societal norms and prejudices of the time. The film courageously tackled important issues related to AIDS, discrimination, and LGBTQ+ rights, shedding light on the challenges faced by individuals living with HIV/AIDS, particularly in the workplace. Philadelphia not only confronted these issues head-on, but also humanized the character of Andrew Beckett, allowing viewers to empathize with his struggles and the injustices he endured. Tom Hanks's performance in Philadelphia was widely acclaimed and earned him the Academy Award for Best Actor in 1994. This recognition was not just a testament to his acting prowess, but also a sign that the film had a significant impact on the cultural landscape. It served as a landmark moment in Hollywood, demonstrating that mainstream cinema could address complex social issues and contribute to the conversation about HIV/AIDS and LGBTQ+ rights. Philadelphia and Forrest Gump represent two different approaches to addressing HIV/AIDS awareness and the stigmas associated with the disease during the early 1990s, both of which were important in their own right. In Philadelphia, the film had a clear mission to bring awareness to the AIDS pandemic and challenge societal prejudices and discrimination. Tom Hanks's portrayal of Andrew Beckett, a gay man living with AIDS, was a pivotal moment in Hollywood, as it put the audience in the shoes of the average person of that era, who often held misconceptions and fears about those who were gay and had AIDS. The film humanized Andrew Beckett's character, portraying him as a courageous individual fighting against injustice and prejudice. It aimed to foster empathy and understanding among viewers, urging them to reconsider their attitudes and biases. Denzel Washington's character, Joe Miller, represented the viewpoint of the average person who initially had reservations about helping someone with AIDS, illustrating the transformation of his character as he becomes an advocate for justice and equality. Philadelphia succeeded in its mission to raise awareness about AIDS, spark conversations about discrimination and stigma, and challenge societal norms, ultimately contributing to greater acceptance and compassion for individuals living with HIV/AIDS. Outside of his role in Philadelphia, Tom Hanks became known for his extensive charity work and advocacy in the realm of AIDS/HIV relief and research. His dedication to these causes demonstrated his commitment to making a positive impact beyond the screen. While Forrest Gump may not be directly associated with AIDS activism due to its deliberate ambiguity surrounding Jenny's diagnosis, the character and her illness remain important in the broader context of HIV/AIDS awareness. Jenny's character in Forrest Gump serves as a representation of the challenges and hardships faced by individuals living with HIV/AIDS during that era, even though her diagnosis is not explicitly addressed. Tom Hanks's involvement in both films highlights his multifaceted commitment to using his platform to shed light on important social issues. Through his roles and philanthropic efforts, he contributed to raising awareness of the realities of living with AIDS and HIV and challenging the prejudices and misconceptions associated with these conditions. The conflicting accounts of how Jenny dies in Forrest Gump can be attributed to the differences between the source material, the book by Winston Groom, and the adaptations in the movie, as well as variations in how the screenwriter, Eric Roth, and the author himself have spoken about it over the years. In the second book of the Forrest Gump series, titled Gump & Co., Jenny's cause of death is indeed specified as hepatitis C. This detail is in contrast to the movies, where it is implied that she dies of AIDS. The discrepancy can be seen as a result of creative choices made during the adaptation process. Hepatitis C was not discovered until 1989, which is why, in the context of the 80s when the film was set, doctors were unable to offer effective treatment or a clear diagnosis for Jenny's illness. Hepatitis C is a bloodborne virus, and during the 80s, one of the primary modes of transmission was through blood contact, often associated with shared needles among individuals who used intravenous drugs. This aspect of hepatitis C transmission is consistent with the portrayal of Jenny's character in Forrest Gump, where her struggles with substance abuse and her troubled past are hinted at. The decision to imply that Jenny died of AIDS in the movie may have been made to align her fate with the broader narrative of the AIDS pandemic, which was a significant societal issue during that time. While the film does not explicitly confirm her diagnosis, it allows viewers to interpret it within the context of the AIDS crisis, highlighting the devastating impact of the disease on individuals and their loved ones. The discrepancies in how Jenny's death is presented across different versions of the story offer an intriguing perspective on the adaptation process in filmmaking. It also demonstrates how creative choices can shape the narrative and add layers of complexity to characters and their experiences. Regardless of the specific cause of her death, Jenny's character remains a central and emotionally resonant figure in Forrest Gump, serving as a symbol of the challenges and tragedies faced by individuals during that era. What do you think about Jenny's death in Forrest Gump? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.